Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading. Let's see, if you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Thursdays. So the deck that I'm using today is called the Deviant Moon Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the information for that is in the description below. Let me just pull the cards that fell onto the ground real quick. I'm actually going to go ahead and lay out these cards for you. So it looks like we have the Eight of Wands, the Justice, the High Priestess, and the Judgment card. But just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually really only take the cards that jump out of the deck, like these ones have. But my goal here is to pull you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So usually if they come out in cards that are too big, like groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. But with that being said, we have your 8 cards. And I do just want to take a quick moment, Capricorn, to remind you guys that if you enjoy the reading, the best way of letting me know is by leaving a like or a comment. I really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But your overall energy here is the Five of Swords here, right? So the Five of Swords to me is always a card of something like harmless that gets taken a little bit too far. So with the Five of Swords, we can see that this person has like 5 swords and is sticking their tongue out sort of like as a sword winner. So this to me reads as like a scenario where he was doing some kind of like spar round with people, like kind of like fencing or whatever, and he was just like overly competitive and such a sword winner that people just like threw their swords on the ground and said, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. And he's like, oh, well, why are you guys so upset? It's just a game, right? And, you know, he's acting wrongfully, but he's justifying what he's doing sort of like in a roundabout way so that, you know, whoever is actually in the right, you know, the people that understand that it's just a game and that this person is taking it far too seriously look like they're wrong, right? At least in their mind. So I feel like you're dealing with someone like that, someone who's justifying and excusing their behavior, even though that you know that that's not what a normal like functioning human would do. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but like you understand what I mean. It's just like this person is trying to really justify their behavior when you know they shouldn't. The Five of Swords, in a more traditional sense, represents conflict and sort of petty arguments and, you know, things on a a mental level, right? So whereas like the Five of Wands could mean like more conflict on a physical level, this to me is a very like psycho-emotional level. So be very careful of people who don't have the best interest for you, who are excusing their bad behavior, anything like that. Try to recognize those patterns and act accordingly. But, well, because, yeah, every situation will call for different measures. But in your reading here, we have the Chariot in reverse and the High Priestess. So the Chariot in reverse to me symbolizes lack of action, right? Lack of movement. So I think that in some way or another, you're kind of feeling stuck. You really want to go through with something and, like, have things happen. But it feels like, you know, you just can't. Things aren't going through. But I think that if you really take a step back and really try to zero in on your intuition here, you're going to have a lot better of a time getting things to move, right? Like this cog is kind of stuck, but if you follow your intuition, you're going to be able to get it unstuck. And things are going to move again. And I think that there's a moment here that I think that for better or for worse, you've been kind of trying to avoid, right? Because you have the Tower card and you have the Judgment card, and those two cards together can be pretty rough. The Judgment card is going to be some kind of a judgment passed on you, And then you have the Tower moment, which is a tower that has been attacked. In this case, it's been attacked by like a Death Star kind of looking thing. But in regular sort of traditional tarot, it's a tower that's been struck by lightning, right? As kind of like a divine intervention. But because the tower isn't fortified enough, the lightning, makes it crumble. So what does that mean? It means that factors in our life that are not built on a stable enough foundation have got to go. And whenever we see the tower, we know that those are things that we need to get rid of. So once this tower comes crumbling down, we're able to build it back up in a way that's more stable and more healthy, right? So that if something like this were to happen again, the same result wouldn't occur. So with this Judgment card also, I'm feeling kind of like responsibilities, anything that has to do with like being an adult, right? Anything that you've been like kind of putting off. This can also mean like legal stuff, and I'm seeing this Eight of Wands with that letter. So, if you guys get like summoned for jury duty or have like a trial going on, give that the sort of ample respect that it deserves, because those are a little bit more serious situations, right? And, I think that that's for a very small minority of you guys. They're in a legal dispute. But I think that for the great majority of you guys, this to me kind of reads like Saturn return also, now that I mention it. So if you guys are like around 28 or 29, look into Saturn returns and what you can do to sort of mitigate what the Saturn return will do for you, because it gets a lot of bad reputation because whenever you haven't really kept up on your responsibilities or sort of like jobs, careers, adulthood, planning for your future, stuff like that, it comes and kind of like kicks your butt into gear all at once. So I'm getting that this feels like a Saturn return for some of you guys. And if it's not, then for a lot of you guys, it feels kind of like a baby Saturn return, right? So it's like trying to get everything into motion. And I don't think that you've been like irresponsible. It's just like things haven't been going exactly the way you have. Like if you're unemployed, you've been trying to get a job, but it just doesn't work. So I feel like this is going to be your sort of like do or die moment. So ask for ample help. I feel like that's another thing, is that you guys probably haven't been asking for help, but now is the time to do it. So you have the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Cups in reverse. So I feel like with the Eight of Cups in reverse, you guys have been trying to kind of leave a situation, but you haven't. I think that things have been difficult, but you're kind of clinging on to an idea or a hope. Either way, whenever you start to see some success is when you're going to start to see this communication, right? So the communication brings with it success, and that's good because the Eight of Wands is called the arrows of love a lot of times. So you guys might be seeing some kind of success in love, but I think that for the great majority of you guys, more than just that, it means that you're going to start to see really fast communication, because that's what this card's about, right? It's about instantaneous communication. So that's like texting, phone calls, anything like that. And with this Justice card here and this Eight of Pentacles, I'm getting that you guys are going to see a lot more fairness in the workplace. I feel like you guys, like I said earlier, I gave that unemployment example. I feel like you guys have been kind of in that tough situation for a long time, and now you're sort of going to get what you deserve in that sense. Do keep in mind that this Judgment can also be a positive judgment, especially with the Justice card. But I'm getting that things are going to get better. Either way, Capricorn, that was your reading first time around. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Capricorn videos on Thursday, and I'd love to see you guys for your next reading.